So as we continue to look forward, next weekend we have Fight Night 147 on March 16th. Features 3 fights we're pretty interested in. The first of those is Volkhan Oezdemir and Dominick Reyes, a light heavyweight fight for a potential light heavyweight title contender.
It really is.
I would think. Dominick Reyes is an undefeated fighter.
Yep.
Volkhan Oezdemir had a title shot very recently against DC that he lost. But there's a new champion now, new sheriff in town, and he hasn't had to run at him.
No.
He did lose to Anthony Smith, so he's coming off of a couple losses. But if he wins this, then he probably gets one more contender fight, and then he probably deserves another title fight. So I think Dominick Reyes is 1 or 2 fights away, as is Volkhan Oezdemir.
I agree, because also, too, is if Volkhan wins this, he's going to leapfrog Jan Blachowicz, who just lost to Santos quick. So he's going to automatically move up, even with Jan's loss. He's got a lot to gain here. He's also got a ton to lose, because Dominick Reyes is on an undefeated streak. He's beaten big names like Cannonier, Ovince St. Preux. He beats Volkhan, who is, like you said, already fought Cormier and been the top champ fight for him. That drops him down. Dominick Reyes comes up and says, let me go and fight Santos, or let me go and fight Anthony Smith next, which I would love to see. I think Anthony Smith, win or lose, if this Gustafsson happens, I think he could fight someone like Dominick Reyes. I really think if Anthony Smith loses, he has to fight someone like Dominick Reyes to keep his spot. So Dominick has a ton to gain on this, and I think that would be the best thing in his career right now, because he's on a tear.
I agree. I think he gets one. If he wins this, one more fight, and then it's a title fight. I think both of these guys, like we said, might be in that situation.
And Volkhan could be the same hand. Volkhan has done some crazy things. I know we've talked about it over and over. Jimmy Manuwa is not the greatest win in the world. Jimmy Manuwa is still a crazy man. He beat Misha, who just got knocked out by Santos. Ovince St. Preux, he's had a decision over. He's really only lost to the guy that just fought the champ, and also the champ originally, Daniel Cormier. So his record is not really blemished. It's just fighting the cream of the crop.
Who wins this fight?
I think Dominick Reyes wins the fight, just because how hungry and how many tools he has in his gauge. I think Oezdemir, as much as he trains and tries to change his game, he's all about those big hands, overwhelming you because of his size. I think Dominick Reyes has a better gas tank also. I think he is way in a better athlete than Volkhan, and I think he kind of waits, wears him down a little bit, maybe doesn't do a lot of shots, and then once he lands one big shot, he chips away. He's not looking for the absolute knockout. He's looking for a wear-down knockout, where he can put in 17 punches on a guy when he gets clipped by an elbow or something.
Yeah, I think there's more ways that Dominick Reyes can win this fight than Volkhan Oezdemir. I think that, like you said, Oezdemir's going to be looking for those big hands, and he's got them. Yeah. He can lay heavy hands and knock you out.
And he can change his story real quick.
Dominick Reyes has more opportunities elsewhere. Yep. And that's how I think this fight ends.
Yep, agreed.
I think that the Anthony Smith fight against Volkhan Oezdemir was pretty eye-opening.
Yes.
You expect him to be outmatched against DC, but
holes in his game.
Anthony Smith showed that he's beatable on multiple fronts. Yep. That was an entertaining fight.
Yeah, it was.
At the end, it was one-sided, and I think that Dominick Reyes is going to. I anticipate Dominick Reyes winning this fight.
It's going to be a big 2019 for him, I think.
After that fight, there's going to be Leon Edwards and Gunnar Nelson.
Rocky versus the Ice Boy, buddy.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good one. This is another. I mean, we're talking about how deep this division is. Yep. And this is just going to be another one of those fights where line them up, and I think it's going to be an entertaining fight.
Well, Leon Edwards I've watched for a while. He's on a 5-fight winning streak right now, I believe. He did beat Donald Cerrone in a decision. He didn't, absolutely make him look foolish, but Leon Edwards is coming up the ranks and very deserving. I also think very similar, Gunnar Nelson has had some tough fights and lost those. Damian Maia, we all know what happens when you get, a hold there, even though that was a decision. Ponzinibbio was a tough fight because he got eye-poked, thought he was affected by it, then kept fighting, and then was dropped. And he told in the interview later he couldn't see. Right. And the last person on earth I want to not be able to see is in front of Ponzinibbio.
And then it was a year and a half after he fought.
And it was a year and a half because he had some injuries. But he did come back out, submitted a big guy, Alex Oliveira. So I like this fight because the styles are different enough, but both guys are aggressive. Leon Edwards is very time waiting. He's had a ton of decisions. He has had some knockouts, though, but I think this will test Leon and Gunnar can we go to the next level? Because after each other fight each other, which are in the top 10, you have the Ponzinovias that you've already fought, the Ben Askrens, the Rafael dos Sanchoses, which is a huge tier jump to where, okay, we're back in contention, but now what do we do?
Right, I agree. The winner of this is in now the next stratosphere. I mean,
Yes.
it is. There's a line, as good as this division is, there is a line between like
Several.
6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, this is a big deal. So this will be a good fight.
It will.
We haven't seen Gunnar Nelson fight a bunch recently, but very recently he just fought in December.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get to see him be more active and not take these 1.5-year breaks because of
that's not good for anybody's career.
Correct. And then the main event that this upcoming weekend is Darren Till and Jorge Masvidal, and that's
so
a fight
happy.
I'm very interested in
I'm
watching.
so happy
that's going to be a
happened.
good one.
And, with Masvidal, I was really excited when they were teasing people with the Nick Diaz situation because that brought Masvidal's name back. Because Masvidal's been out a while. His last last fight was losing to Stephen Thompson in a decision, also losing into a Damian Maia decision, and then his last win was over Cerrone when he starched Cerrone at home in Colorado. So those were all 2017 fights. He was fighting a lot and active. Took these years off, recovered, took some time, got a little bit older. He's only 34, though. Masvidal's been in this game so long, you're going to have a guy that has a bunch of legacy, a bunch of experience against someone that's super hungry and crazy, which is Darren Till, who flew up the welterweight ranks by beating guys that were big names until Tyron Woodley. So he was tested. He was finally shown, hey, I can't just come up to the top and swing hands all day and hope everything goes well. I have to have a game plan. I think Darren's game plan is going to change a lot since the Woodley fight, and I think, honestly, Masvidal goes in like he always does, broke. He's going to go in, throw everything, wait, be patient, but if you fucking blink, he's going to put you out. But also, Masvidal's been out for a bit. Darren Till has actively been fighting. He's pissed as how he lost to Woodley. Both of these guys are going to come in like a freight train. They interviewed together for ESPN in the same room and were saying, I love how you're fighting. I love that you want to go in there and just trade hands. These guys are excited to hurt each other in a good way.
Yeah, I think Darren Till he's certainly the bigger guy.
Yeah.
I think he has more power. I think he's going to have an advantage standing up. I think Jorge Masvidal is going to try and do strange things.
Yes.
Not just stand right in front of you and bang because Darren Till wins that fight.
Yeah.
But
maybe takedowns. He might go for a lot of takedowns, single
he
legs.
may try and wrestle him. I mean, Darren Till looked like he didn't have wrestling a good grasp of it when he fought Tyron Woodley. But
yeah, I don't think you want to take him on the cage and grapple and do a lot of tie clinching and stuff. I think you keep it on the ground because Till's elbows saw in the Cowboy fight that he can get a hold of you and hurt you quick.
Elbows,
very nasty elbows. It's fast.
Yeah, but that fight is going to be fantastic, and I think that one also is on ESPN Plus.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
That'll be
fun.
A good one. And then the following weekend.
Yeah, right into it again next weekend after it.
Yeah, we have a card outlined by Stephen Thompson and Anthony Pettis.
Yep.
And that main event is going to be Anthony Pettis' first fight at the welterweight division.
Yeah.
Stephen Thompson's coming off of a recent loss, but before that he had just beat Masvidal.
Yeah.
So this is to get him back on track.
Yeah.
I think that this fight right here is going to be outlined by Thompson's karate style.
Yep.
Most people
Like
have
normal.
that very, very hard to crack. He controls distance, moves back and forth very quickly. Pettis is very quick. I mean, he's Showtime.
He's flashy.
He's Mr. Jump off the cage and kick you in your face. So.
He's going to do anything and everything to try to win, which is going to definitely be a test for Thompson because Thompson's so used to your Woodley fights, your Masvidal fights. Having someone flashy like Pettis, I just think the size difference and the distance control that Thompson carries is going to give Pettis a hard time to use his tools. I don't think he's going to be able to do what he does at lightweight that he normally gets to do.
Yeah, I think that Thompson wins this fight. But Pettis is Showtime. He's got the punch chance in this one.
You don't want to blink with him.
Thompson's usually the fight that he doesn't win, go to decision. He usually stays out of danger, but
Till fight he didn't know. He found out real quick the power of Till because he got dropped by Till.
That did go to decision, though.
I know. I'm saying is I don't think he's going to worry about the power with Anthony. I think he's going to have to worry about the dangerous, weird things that Anthony does. But again, like I just said, Thompson might keep that distance.
All right, the co-main event of that card is going to be Curtis Blaydes and Justin Willis, a heavyweight fight. Curtis Blaydes is going to be looking to become a top contender if he wins this.
This is a huge win for him. Yeah, and especially coming off the loss to Francis, his backtrack of what he's won. Overeem, Mark Hunt, Alexei Ovanik, big wins. So, yeah, I mean, that jumps him in there. But then Justin Willis.
He's on a big win streak.
Huge win streak.
Yeah, he's coming up the rankings quickly. And this win is a big win for him. I mean, he wins this, and he's instantly a top contender as well.
Yeah, there's nothing that's going to stop that.
You have a prediction on this one?
You know, I've watched Justin Willis fight a lot, but I really think Curtis Blaydes is the next new thing in the heavyweight division. I think he is sharp. I think he is what they call him, nicknamed Razor. I think the things he does in the ring at that level, he just beats so many guys with his just tactical plans. But in that division, it just takes one hand. So Justin Willis puts a big hand. He's on a fight win streak, like you said. He could change this completely. And Justin Willis is someone that we're talking about next. Maybe he's fighting Derek Lewis.
Right. I mean,
so that could be a huge change in that division.
Or
higher, especially with Derek's loss. So, I mean, again, we're always redundant. Big things on the line for both of these guys.
And then one other big fight that weekend on the 23rd is who's here for Maiga and Deviation Figueiredo.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, you were close.
So the flyweight division, I mean, if we're talking about Henry Cejudo is the champion, he's having this play back and forth with TJ Dillashaw, and we don't talk about the flyweight division too much.
No.
But the winner of this fight is Henry Cejudo's next fight to defend the flyweight division belt.
It falls right in line.
This is the next title defender. I don't know how long you can have them. Maybe the winner of this fight is Joseph Benavidez, but at some point you have to have Cejudo defend. And if the flyweight division sticks around, this is a big fight for it.
This is the exact example of what can help keep the flyweight a division and not go anywhere. Because you have somebody like Figueiredo that is a 15-0 undefeated fighter fighting another guy at the top that has fought basically everybody in the division. And has had the most recent loss against Ray Borg, and then after that, he was stomping everybody. He's already fought Henry Cejudo. It makes absolute sense. These guys are number one, number two. This is the last crossing step over that it does not matter if it's Henry next or it's TJ, if he wants to fight at the flyweight weight limit as a champion. You're going to be seeing these guys, and this is going to be a hell of a fight to watch, especially at that size. It's going to be fast, it's going to be powerful. I do not see that coming out of the first round with those guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. And the reason is I've watched them.
They're so small, though.
They have a lot of decisions and subs. I think because there's so much on the line with this that they just throw hands. Because guys like Dustin Ortiz, Sergio Pettis, those were throwing hand guys that were not at this caliber, and they went to decision. Now you have the two top calibers that beat all those guys out. Fuck it. Let's just get in the middle and rock 'em, sock 'em robots.
Figueiredo, I hope he wins. I hope he continues his undefeated streak. I hope it's unnoticeable. I hope that the champion has to defend against it, and I hope that the UFC
they see how much there is
continues to support the flyweight division. I also don't know, but I think Deus de Guerra is Portuguese for God of War, which is a pretty badass nickname.
That's an awesome name.
So I'd love to see that be the play at least to keep this division moving forward. I think this is going to be a good fight to watch. If this is a boring fight,
it's going to
it's going to hurt the whole division. If this is a fantastic fight on ESPN Plus, when people are getting into the sport, then this might do wonderful things for the division.
And definitely makes an excuse to say, why in the world would you ever get rid of this division?
Yeah.
There's so much entertainment in it. It's bantamweight. It's bantamweights without the power. That's really what it is.
That's a tough sell, man. You don't want to give up the power.
We just found out last weekend. We just found out with the Cody fight that you don't need to have Justin Willis power to knock people out. You can go in there and land one good punch. So I think these type of fights is definitely going to make a big change in this division.
It's going to make or break.
Make or break.
Yeah,
you're exactly right.
Big one. So We're going to leave it there today. We're going to be back with you shortly after that event, hopefully.
Man. Glad we got together.
One more time after that, at least.
We got to get in. We got March Madness coming up. We got to get as many fights. But again, I'm excited. Every fight card's awesome to watch. There's no borers to me. And I've said that before, but I think everybody lining up is cool.
No, it's been great. These ESPN Plus cards you have, just like last night, there's several good fights on all of these cards, and you're going to see them on ESPN.
The changeover is great. ESPN's done. I mean, to come from Fox was killing it. This ESPN jump now is, with this Plus, you don't worry about missing the fights. I can be gone all day. I just come home, turn it right on.
That's the other thing, yeah. Be able to come home and watch it on your time. Fantastic. Awesome. So, cheers, man.
Cheers, brother.